Hi everyone, this is Oscar. So this is not a how-to video. It's not uh, a a deep review of the game or how-to or nothing like that. It's just a information that you should know before you buy it. So sometimes people hear friends tell you about a game, or you see a video about it or whatever. And you're like, oh, should I get it? What it's about? So this is a kind of quick video explaining to you what the game's about and uh, you know more or less how it looks, whatever, how it works, and if you should buy it. So, so Xenonauts is I think it's a fun, challenging strategy game. It's a PC only game, and it's a turn based. Was developed it was developed and published by Goldhawk Interactive. I think like in 2015. Now they announced not long ago Xenonauts 2, but they haven't released a release date for it. But they basically Xenonauts is kind of like the successor to these XCOM strategy games they had from the 90s, and those games were fun, and this game is fun too. The goal of this game is basically you're going to use soldiers to defend the planet from aliens, and you're going to end up taking their technology and researching, and coming up with new technology and equipment. So you basically, like it says here, the objective is to shoot down aircraft, steal their stuff, and then research it. So I've played this game for a few hundred hours, and I kind of always want to start my base in Africa, because it's kind of in the middle of everything. So once you establish a base and have everything set up there, you can go to other countries or continents and establish more bases. So eventually you want to have enough radar coverage so that it covers most of the planet. So I like to start in the middle, and then the next one I might build it somewhere around here, somewhere around Mexico, and have the whole radar there. And then the next one I might build it somewhere here, and it can cover the rest of that. So that's what you need to do eventually to cover everything, because aliens are going to be attacking everywhere. And if they start messing up a certain continent, you're going to start getting a lot less money, until eventually the aliens take it over, and then you don't get no money, and it becomes very difficult to pass the game. So yeah, you start off by building your base or whatever. The first one is kind of a freebie. They'll have everything here thrown for you, and that's how it looks. And I'll go into more of this stuff here in a little bit, but so imagine a world where this is the late 70s. Aliens come over, and everybody's all friendly now, and everybody's like, well, let's stop killing each other and start killing aliens, before they kill us. So that's basically what the game's about. The governments have they've gone together, they contribute money, resources, and material to set up the Xenonauts. So the Xenonauts are soldiers that fight aliens, Xenos or whatever, So I'm going to show you here in a minute everything a little bit more into detail here, but this is your world view, and right now the time's going by really slow. I can speed it up, but this is your world view. Things will start happening. Like you'll start seeing messages pop up saying, oh, these aliens attacked the jetliner over here, or weird things are happening in the ocean, things like that, or a city has been invaded, or radar detected flying creatures or whatever. And I'll show you more of that in a minute. But I just wanted to show you the geoscape, I guess is what they call it. Now here's the base. All the buttons here have shortcuts, but I just like to click on them. Have keyboard shortcuts, but this is the base here. So this is where you build your buildings, and these buildings cost a certain amount of money. But as I played the game, and you want to have certain bases that have a little bit more of something, but each base should have at least 3 radar buildings. And the reason why is because the more radar buildings you have, the further out it extends your radar coverage. I think 3 is the most you should have or could have. That's the most coverage that you get. And then you have your little runways. This is a craft to carry soldiers. These are your fighter planes. And each one of these buildings, it'll tell you what it is. So like this one here is a laboratory. This is your main little area, the command center. And workshop. So the workshop lets you build vehicles and planes and equipment. And storage, that's where you keep everything you build, parts, whatever, things you recover. And this is where the soldiers are kept. It only has enough soldiers for a specific amount, 30, 35 or whatever. And then you have I don't have a medical center, so I'm going to build that. And then a missile battery is really important because these aliens will try to attack your base. So you can build those missile batteries. So everything else here I pretty much have. Then in the research tab, right now the research, a big part of this game is keeping a budget and making sure that's good. And we'll go more into that, into what affects your budget. So yeah, research here, you'll have different things depending on your progress through the game. You'll have different things to research, and I can show you more of that in a little bit. So here are the weapons. Once you start researching more things, you have your guys in the workshop building the weapons. But first, the scientists have to develop the weapons, research, and then these guys will be able to build it. Now, here's where you manage your soldiers. Each one has different specialties, as far as their roles or whatever and ranks. But I want the most. All of these are important, but to me, one of the most important things is their bravery. To me, that's my opinion. But the higher the bravery, the less of a chance you have of the aliens taking over their mind or making them go crazy. Because aliens can do that. They can make your soldiers panic and run away, or start shooting your own people, or they can actually take over their mind and have them join their ranks. So here I have them assigned to Charlie 1, which is their dropship that they use to travel the world. So here's the storage room. There's ways to make money in this game besides having countries send you money. You could sell equipment back to civilians or whatever and make profit off of that. There's different ways to do that. I'm not going to cover all the little gimmicky ways of doing that. You can figure that out on your own. But there's a way to make money here, selling supplies and stuff that you make. But this is where everything will be stored. Now here's where you could see your soldiers. Now here is where you equip them. So let's say this person her classification is assault. So for whatever reason, if you wanted to change their role, you could change it here. Or you could just change their weapons that they have. Right now it's ballistic weapons, so that's all they have. And they don't have any kind of armor, so it's pretty pathetic. I mean, even the military has armor, so I don't know why this game doesn't start you with some sort of flak jacket or something. I mean, it doesn't really matter because the alien weapons will go through it like a hot knife through butter. But, I mean, you figure they would give them some kind of body armor. So yeah, this is where you would change weapons. Your soldiers, where they're located in Charlie 1, which is their little transport. And they gain rank, so the better they do, the better the rank goes. And they'll start earning medals for achievements. Their stats will go up, things like that. Now, obviously, I don't have any vehicles here yet. But here's where they will be stored. You'll have your little tank or whatever vehicle. That's where it's going to be. You could transfer it to another base, things like that. Now the aircraft. You start off with 2 Condors when you first start the game. And these are pretty decent when you first start, but you're going to definitely want to research better aircraft. You'll start getting like the Foxtrot, and then the other one, a MiG, and then you'll start getting hybrid aircraft. But for now, this is a good thing to start with. You can buy the airplanes, or you can have them built. I usually have them built, but sometimes it can take a long time to have them built. So here's my dropship. These are my soldiers that are stationed in there. You can change the order of how you want them, because when you start the mission, that's how they're literally going to be in the little dropship. So I usually like to put the shield guys in front, because if you could drop into a map and there could be aliens like right outside the door for whatever reason, or here, and they could just be right there sometimes, or they could be down the street, and they could be right in your line of sight. So your shield guys would be the first ones that come out, and you could see them or scope them out. You'll see more of that in a little bit. but the maps are randomly generated. Now here's the help guide. It tells you about all your stuff. You know, oh, this is the Condor, this is the Charlie, you know, weapons, whatever. Every time you research new things, this will pop up, or you can always go back to it for reference. But it's pretty cool to have and see. So, you know, there it is. Whoop. Alright, so here's some of the combat that I was explaining. Now, like I said earlier, the goal of the game is to, you know, shoot down aircraft, send your troops in, get the technology, bring it to your scientists so they can research it, build new stuff, rinse and repeat till you get to the in-game event. So here, this is the health of your aircraft, ammo, whatever, you can see all that. Now, there's a few options that you have here. Now, remember I was telling you that you could do auto-resolve? The computer says that I'll win 100%. Now, sometimes this might say if you auto-resolve, you'll get a 20% or 30 or 10 or 50. Now, that's because the computer does everything. If you want to increase your odds of doing that, you can engage it and then you manually fight. Now, I don't like to do that because I don't know how to play that game. I know it's sad to say I played this hundreds of hours and always do auto-resolve. But I'm going to do it this time so I can show you. So we engage. Now here it tells you, oh yeah, you know, you can, you know, barrel roll, whatever, doing this and that. So we'll skip all that because that way you can read it when you buy it. So here are my guys here. Starts off paused. I've done this before, but I always fail miserably, even though I have 100% of doing it automatically. Now these guys, everything has an arc of fire arc if you want to, whatever. Now you guys can do barrel rolls, your airplanes can, but there's only so many barrel rolls they can do, and there's only so much flying time you have. So because you run out of fuel, apparently in combat it takes a lot of fuel. So, you know. Now it's base to go. Now this little guy, I want you to fire. Don't die, little guy. So, yeah. So got him, coach. Now with that, I didn't really have to do anything because it was a light, like a scout ship. So I wasn't too worried about it shooting me down. But in there you have the option of using your keyboard to do, you can do maneuvers where you can turn over, do barrel rolls. You can use your mouse to click on a single individual airplane and go make it go anywhere you want with your mouse, stuff like that. I won't go into detail on that because it's not really a how-to. It's just showing you, right? And I tend to babble on or whatever. So now they're going to refuel and rearm the aircraft, and then I'm going to show you guys how the ground combat works and how the soldiers, how all that goes about. Alright, so here I fought a UFO and it crashed not far from my base. So I'm going to now show you how I send my G.I. Joes to go get it. Now I usually never send my soldiers to intercept a crash site and when it's nighttime, because it's freaking hard and it's almost end up with casualties. So so here I clicked on the red crash site, and I'm going to click on intercept and send my dudes, and we'll launch Charlie 1. And here are all your soldiers, and you have the fog of war, so you don't know what's there, you can't see it, right? Now quickly I'm gonna go over this. If you want me to go over more detail in another video, I can do that, or have questions, just leave a comment, but I'm gonna briefly go through all of this. Now each one of these is your soldiers, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through 8. You can have more soldiers, and this is where their stuff is going to show up. Now I know you can't really see I have a screen capture going on, so you can't really see the bottom part of it, but I'm going to show you this part first. Now these guys, to make a move, you know, you just click on it, click on here. This will provide some cover fire. That's what that means. And you'll have NPCs in the game. They'll help you fight. Sometimes they'll just get in the way, but they'll help you fight most of the time. So here's my shield guy. I'm going to send him out so he can scout a little bit. And then using the right mouse button, I can have him face wherever I want. And I can also have him kneel or stand or whatever. Having him kneel the soldiers gives him better shooting and better cover fire. So that's how you move him around the map. Alright, so here's where we start getting into combat. Now, briefly, I'm going to go over all the other stuff that I said. I'm just going to go over. Obviously, the big button is when you end your turn, so don't hit that until you're ready. This button here will change your field of view, obviously by levels. This is ground level. You know, now you can see the roof, and you go one more, you'll see the third floor, fifth floor, etc., all the way till you can see really high or whatever. Now, the reason why that's important is because sometimes these guys, the enemy, they will hide on the roofs. They'll be on the roofs running around. For your soldiers will have armor that they can use little jump jets to get on top of roofs. So if you wanted to make this guy, let's say this soldier here, jump up here, you would have to be in this view or higher to be able to target that view. So if you were in ground view, there's no way you can target that. See, so anyway, so each one of these soldiers has information here. The red is their life, the green is their action points, and their blue, I think the blue is their morale. Yeah, so see, that was a waste and then missed. So you see how much action points that took. So now I'm gonna make this person stand up, sit back down, or squat. See, so that's that. Now the higher this, the morale, the better they're fight. But again, their bravery is what will determine how they can fight off being mind wiped or whatever. Now when you're attacking these guys and when you're moving around, there's a TU reserve. So if you set this up to a certain level, that means that much energy or you know, whatever will be reserved when these guys are moving around. So let's say I had it on aim, this little bar here, and I tell this soldier to move. It's only gonna move just enough so that it still has a reserve for that action. Here's where you reload. This is your magazine, something, a quick action. And then here's your backpack. You open that up, it tells you what you have. You don't have anything. Now sometimes you can pick enemy weapons up, but a lot of times you can't use them. Here's where you have your stuff in your belt and your backpack. And this is the, you know, if you don't want the buildings in the way, which it looks ugly. So this is where you tell them to crouch or stand up. This is their rank, the picture of the guy or the person. Here's all your soldiers. So you click on this, you can throw it, which is a good idea actually if I could throw it. What is it, a grenade or a stun grenade? I don't know what it is, but I'm just gonna throw it anyways. So we're throwing it there, and that was a stun grenade. That was a horrible throw, but you know, whatever. So if you right click on this guy, it'll change your shooting abilities. So if you right click with the sniper, it gets more precise, but it takes some more time units. So with this guy, I'm just gonna, you know, go to the next one. Now with depending on a soldier, when you right click, it does different things. Like if you right click with this one, it'll do machine gun fire. So that one is machine gun fire, 3 shots. That's a regular shot, aimed, super aimed, stuff like that. So usually I try to do 3 shots. It'll suppress them. Wait, if I can throw a grenade at this dumbass. Yeah, maybe. No, I don't have enough time units, so never mind that. Now, here's my shield guy. See, can I hit him? Perhaps? Shoot him. Got him, coach. So he's dead. Now the aliens will die. It's just they're really hard to kill because they regenerate. The goal here is to kill all the aliens and go into their ship, or go in their ship and stay in there for a certain amount of turns, and then you capture it, even if you don't kill all the aliens. So I'll show you what the inside of the alien ship looks like here in a minute. So this is an example of inside a ship combat. Now the ships can get very, very large, and eventually you end up in military bases for aliens. No, don't kill nobody. Oh, he's dead. This is just like a medium-sized ship. I would call it a small one, but the game calls it a medium. And yeah, so the bases kind of look like this, and it involves a lot of, I want to say, hide and seeking. That's all the stuff that you get to steal. You get to steal corpses and stuff. That's pretty much it. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to go into more detail about something, let me know. Again, I'm not going to show the end game because, you know, I don't want to ruin it. But like, subscribe. If you don't like it, let me know. Leave a comment. Follow me. I love you. Bye.